scientific studies are being done on UFOs. In March 1990, in the former Soviet Union, fighter planes scrambled to investigate pulsing lights northeast of Moscow. For 3.5 hours, they stalked the lights, which moved at speeds up to 3,000 miles an hour. No radar image appeared on the screens of ground stations, but photographs were taken, and thermal imaging produced results. For the Chief of Air Defense Forces, these secret results were proof enough of UFOs.
Though journalists are asking if there are other sightings, these 1990 cases were only one supported by evidence. This is the only case for which there is real proof.
Nor was it ever considered that the sighting was that of a stealth bomber.
We never thought it was an American stealth aircraft. The radar characteristics are not the same. Stealth behaves like a plane in terms of speed and maneuverability. UFOs are very different.
The unwritten rule: do not fire on UFOs.
As far as official instructions are concerned, we in air defense have certain unwritten rules that mean we do not fire at UFOs.
From 1977 on, an official Soviet Ministry of Defense study has collected hundreds of reports of UFOs, reportedly to gain alien technology for military use. Their files list many cases. In one case, a pilot reported finding a light closing in on him, at which point his aircraft went into rapid descent. Though he landed safely, there was damage to the left wing. Never before seen in the West, this amateur footage purports to show a UFO over the parliament in Vilnius, capital of Lithuania. The craft hovers noiselessly, appearing to land. At dawn the next morning, local militia videotaped this nearby. Enhanced, the night visitor looks like this. It moves unlike a normal helicopter or plane. In another Soviet incident, hundreds of people thought they saw a giant UFO over the city of Petrozavodsk in northwest Russia in 1977. But studies established that it was the burning booster of a secretly launched satellite. Still, at the Soviet Academy of Sciences, such phenomena are considered worthy of serious inquiry. In addition to the country's military study, this governing body for academic research coordinates a countrywide collection of information for scientific analysis. Here, the Central Committee for the Study of UFOs gathers data from 10 other scientific academies.
I would like to say a few words about our methods. For some sightings, we carry out investigations in the field.
A sighting here has resulted in 12 years of research. Train passengers reported seeing a UFO. A metallic craft that landed nearby. biologist Yuri Simyakov believes there have been permanent changes to the scene.
We believe this could have been a landing site. This is a very interesting place because it has such strong magnetic fields.
His experiments find living creatures shun this spot. These findings are consistent with studies of other UFO sites, where the ground appears empty of all life, even microbes. Most puzzling of all, Earth samples taken from landing sites contain tiny spheres. His work has led him to conclude these spheres were extraterrestrial in origin, containing DNA, the seed of life itself. In the U.S., tests of these samples were divided. Results indicate that the spheres are either of unknown origin or common parts of groundwater filter systems. Yet some Russian researchers believe alien microtechnology is being placed here by interplanetary prowlers. Given worldwide interest, researchers have attempted to classify reports of UFO sightings and encounters with extraterrestrials. When an unidentified flying object is seen, but nothing more, it is labeled a close encounter of the first kind. Where traces are left, it becomes the second kind. Then there are close encounters of the third kind, where people report observing aliens. In close encounters of the fourth kind, the witness actually interacts with the aliens. In November 1980, in Todmorden, England, an experienced police officer, Alan Godfrey, was on night patrol when he saw an object he could not identify.
I was on a 10-6 night duty, so I decided that I would go up to this local council estate. As I was about to turn, I saw another 500 yards up the road this object. As I got near to this object, it became apparent to me that what I was looking at wasn't something that I would normally find in the early hours of the morning in Todmorden, you know. I thought it could have been a hot air balloon that had come down, but obviously as I got nearer and nearer, I realised that this was a metallic, man-made craft. It was a nuts and bolts thing. It wasn't an hallucination, it was real. This object was 20 foot wide. It's 14 feet high. It's diamond shaped. The bottom half of it was rotating, the top half was stationary. It had a bank of dark windows, or could have been panelling. If I got out the car, picked a brick up and thrown it at it, I'd have probably found out whether the windows or not. The trees that lined the road were shaking violently. But yet, whilst I was sat in the car, I didn't feel any vibration. I didn't hear any noise, but I certainly wasn't going to get out of the car. I picked my clipboard up, put it on my knee, and proceeded to draw it. Now, as I'm drawing the object, I'm suddenly at the other side of it driving a police car. And the object had gone.
Gone too was a period of time. After hypnotic regression, the officer remembered more.
There's a total blackness. Then there's a feeling of floating, as though either me on my own or the vehicle, whatever, is floating. Then I wake up in a room. Now in this room, there is a very tall humanoid, for want of a better word. He's about 6 foot to 6'6", very tall, thin, with a beard. He had a skull cap on and he had this white gown on. What happens then is, I'm asked to get on this bed. Now, the questions asked to me then is, how did he, he wants to get on? Because I said, his mouth's not moving, he's not talking, it's just, he wants me to get on the bed. Obviously, whatever it was having some sort of influence over my thoughts. Yet I did feel at ease with him. I felt comfortable with him. I got the impression that I'd met him before. I wasn't in fear of him or anything like that. I didn't feel in any danger. So I'm on the bed, and then these horrible little things come. They are a lamp-shaped head with black, dark eyes. That's the best way I can describe them. And there was about 7 or 8 of them.
Officers nearby said they saw a light in the sky, and Alan Godfrey insists his encounter was genuine.
I know that night what I saw was real. It was damn real.
In 1974, in Llandrillo, Wales, residents felt severe tremors. Tremors, which some felt were not naturally caused.
I have no idea what had happened. I don't think it was an earthquake somehow. You know, I still think it wasn't an earthquake.